It starts with a breeze. Warm, salt-tinged. The kind of breeze that glides off the water and flutters through linen curtains like it has a secret to tell. I'm standing on the dock behind my lakefront home, bare feet planted on sun-warmed cedar planks, coffee in hand, watching the blue sheen of the water catch fire under the morning sun. The neighborhood is still, quiet, peaceful, even, but I've lived long enough to know peace can be a performance, especially here. Lake Bell Hollow Estates is one of those gated communities designed to look effortless but built on rules and whispers. Cookie-cutter mansions dressed in pastels, HOA-approved roses trimmed to regulation, and smiling neighbors who get real quiet when I walk by. Because I'm the only black homeowner here, not a renter, not someone's cousin staying the weekend. I bought this house, every square inch of it, the pool, the dock, the shoreline, mine, and that's what makes some folks uncomfortable. Like the woman 3 houses down. I don't know her real name, I just call her Karen, because if the pearl starch shoe fits, I've caught her staring more times than I can count. The kind of stare that tries to shrink you, the kind that says, you don't belong here. I usually just nod, give her the benefit of the doubt. But last week, I found her on my dock. Said she was checking for damage after storm. No permission. No apology. I didn't raise hell. Just asked her to leave. But something about the way she walked off, smiling, smug, made my gut tighten. This morning, there's a white SUV parked crooked near the private pool entrance. Not mine. Not anyone I recognize. I squint through the steam rising off my mug. Someone standing near the gate, holding a clipboard. HOA. Again. Second time this month. Last time, they claimed I was using excessive water on my lawn. Never mind that 4 houses on this cul-de-sac used the same landscaping crew. Only my property got the citation. I laughed it off then. Figured maybe they were just trying to flex. But something's building. You can feel it in the way people pause when I wave. The way my mail's been late 4 times in 2 weeks. The way Karen keeps finding reasons to walk her dog, past my yard odd hours, always peering over the fence. Still, I try to shake it off. I head down to the shoreline to inspect the retaining wall. There's a plastic bag floating near the rocks, caught in the cattails. As I reach for it, movement catches my eye. Karen, standing behind the pool fence, phone in hand, staring. She lifts the phone, starts filming. I freeze. Not again. Not today. Not on my land. And that breeze, that secret's carrying, it's not peace. It's a storm at AT first. I think she's just filming me for her own petty satisfaction. A little footage for the neighborhood group chat. Maybe a way to poke the bear without drawing blood. But then she starts talking. Loud. Slow. Like I don't understand English. She's trespassing, Karen says into her phone. Yes, she's by the pool now. I don't think she lives here. I blink. I'm 30 feet from my own back door, on my own shoreline, wearing a hoodie with the name of the college I teach at, but she talks like I'm some intruder who climbed through a hole in the fence. I straighten. I say nothing. Not yet. Just back up slowly toward my porch, eyes locked on her through the black iron bars surrounding the HOA-managed pool. She flinches when I move, like she's expecting me to run or charge. The clipboard guy from earlier reappears, watching from the side gate, middle-aged, red-faced, with a badge clipped to his belt that reads, HOA Compliance Officer. I've seen him once before. He was measuring someone's mailbox with a ruler. No joke. Excuse me. I call out, can I help you? He doesn't answer, just nods toward Karen. She cups the phone. He looks aggressive. She hisses into the receiver. And threatening. Send someone quickly. That word, aggressive, lands hard in my chest, weaponized like a knife. My breath tightens, but I keep my voice even. You do realize this is my property, right? The dock, the shoreline, the pool access on this side. It's deeded. I own it. Karen lowers her phone just enough to flash a condescending smile. That's not how it works. The amenities are for residents and guests only. I am a resident. Really? She says as if it's up for debate. The clipboard man finally speaks. This dock is part of the shared HOA space. It's in the covenant agreement. We'll need to verify your access rights. I've already sent those documents. Twice. He shrugs like it's not his problem. I step back into my yard, pulse ticking now. It's not just a phone call or the staring or the gatekeeping. It's the assumption that I have to prove I belong. That no matter how many documents I send, how many bills I pay, how many degrees hang in my office, I'm still suspect. My phone buzzes. A text from my neighbor, Marcus. Also black, 3 streets over. Yo, you okay? Karen just posted your pic in the HOA chat. Said you were wandering near the pool looking suspicious. There it is. The smear campaign's already started. I glance back at Karen. She's still pretending to feel unsafe, but her posture is relaxed. She wants me to react. Wants me to give her something to clip, to twist, to sell to the HOA board as proof that I'm a problem. I won't give her that. But something is definitely wrong here, and I'm going to find out what The next morning, I'm waiting, folder in hand, phone recording, posture composed. My lawyer printed everything. The deed showing my property line extends 20 feet past the dock, the survey that places a pool access on my land, and a signed affidavit from the builder confirming it. I don't want to start a war, but I won't be hunted on my own land. At 9:04 a.m. sharp, they show up again. Karen, wearing white like she's on her way to brunch with the Daughters of Confederacy, and clipboard man, whose real name I've learned is Rick Delaney, HOA enforcer with a chip on his shoulder and a love for selective rule enforcement. Ms. Holloway, Rick says like he's doing me a favor. We've received multiple complaints about suspicious activity near the pool again. If you don't have verified guest access or written HOA permission, we'll need to cite you. Interesting. I say, because the land the pool is on right here is mine. Karen scoffs. That's not true. The community owns the pool and the dock. It's shared. Everyone knows that. I hold up the folder, open to the plat map. This line here, this is the boundary. My lot includes the dock, the shoreline, the right-of-way to the pool from this gate. This was deeded before the HOA was even formed. Rick barely looks at it. Karen leans forward, eyes narrowed. Anyone can print a map. Rick folds his arms. Look, this isn't personal. It's about safety. We've had incidents. Incidents. That catch-all term white folks use to imply danger without proof. What kind of incidents? I ask. Rick doesn't answer. Karen does. Well, last month someone left trash by the pool gate, and there was graffiti on the dock bench. And now you're here all the time. My mouth goes dry. So I'm being blamed for vandalism now. No one's saying that. Rick says, pretending to mediate. But if you were transparent about your access, maybe things would calm down. Transparent, like I'm hiding something. I want to scream, but I won't. Instead, I pull out my phone and hit play. It's a video Marcus sent me. Security footage from his porch camera. It shows Karen, last week, walking her dog off-leash, letting it poop in my yard, then tossing the bag into my trash can before trying to side gate to the pool. She jiggles the lock, looks around, then lets herself in. I pause the video. Was this one of those incidents? Rick goes pale. Karen's lip curls, but she doesn't blink. That's irrelevant. That's not what this is about, isn't it? I ask, because it looks to me like you've been using my land without permission, trespassing, and now you're trying to make me look like the threat. Rick shakes his head. This doesn't prove ownership. You'll need to file a formal complaint. We'll let the board review it. I already sent the documents 2 months ago. I say, no response. Rick shrugs. Must have been lost in the system. Karen smirks like she's won. But they don't know I've already forwarded everything to Marcus, or that he's on the HOA board now, elected just last week. They also don't know I filed a public land record request, or that I found something interesting. The HOA's paperwork shows the dock as common property, but the county register still lists me as the sole owner, and I'm done playing nice. The next time Karen steps on my dock, she'll be the one explaining herself till the final straw comes on a sun-drenched Saturday. I'm hosting a small barbecue. Nothing loud, nothing rowdy. Just ribs, soft music, and neighbors who know better than to buy into HOA fear-mongering. Marcus brought coleslaw and paperwork. Tasha from 3 houses down brought her 2 boys and a Bluetooth speaker. The dock is lit with lanterns. The shoreline calm and golden in the fading light. That's when the screeching starts. Karen storms up the side path in full HOA armor, clipboard, white visor, and fury. She doesn't knock, doesn't ask. She demands. You can't have a party on this property. This is HOA-maintained land. You didn't file for event clearance. Every conversation dies mid-sentence. The music cuts. A breeze moves through the group like a warning. I take 1 step forward, slow and calm. Karen, you're trespassing. She plants herself near the dock stairs, like she's staking claim. Actually, you are, and I've already called the sheriff. Again, let's see how they feel about unauthorized gatherings and noncompliance. You people always think the rules don't apply to you. You people. There it is. She said the quiet part loud. Everyone hears it. Even the wind pauses. Rick shows up a minute later, huffing from the walk, clipboard trembling in his hand. Ms. Holloway, you're in violation of Section 4B, subsection 2, private use of common property without board approval. You're officially being cited. Again. Karen beams like she's just won a prize. I nod slowly. You sure you want to do that? She crosses her arms. Oh, I insist. I turn to Marcus. You brought the files? He grins and hands me a folder thicker than Rick's entire manual. I raise my voice, clear and even. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to formally clarify something for the record. I flip open the folder. This is a certified copy of my property deed, signed and filed with the county register. It explicitly includes a pool gate access, the dock, and the shoreline behind this house. I own it, outright, always have. Karen scoffs, but quieter now. And here, I continue, turning a page, is the original plat survey. The pool straddles my property. The HOA didn't install it. It inherited it from the builder, who built it on my land before selling the adjacent lots. I lift the next sheet. This is a signed statement from the original developer confirming the boundary. And here, I pull out my phone, is video of Karen, last week, hosting her own gathering on my dock. No permission. No HOA approval. I hit play. The footage is damning. Karen laughing. Pouring wine. Letting guests through my gate. The crowd shifts. Whispers rise. Karen's face drains. That's not. That was different. I lock eyes with Rick. You gonna cite her too? Or does the rule book only apply to certain neighbors? He stammers. We'll need to review. No need. Marcus cuts in. As a newly elected board member, I've already reviewed it. And this property is not HOA jurisdiction. Never was. Rick steps back. Karen looks like she's been slapped with a lawsuit. Her mouth opens, closes. Then the sheriff's car pulls up. Right on time. Karen lights up. Officer, thank God. They're trespassing on HOA land. But the deputy walks right past her and up to me. Dr. Holloway, he says, you filed a request to formally remove unauthorized access to your land, correct? I nod. He turns to Karen. Ma'am, you're going to need to step off the property. She blinks. What? You're trespassing. And just like that, the tables turn. Hard. Karen doesn't move. Not even when the sheriff's deputy points directly at the NO trespassing sign bolted to my dock post, newly installed, laminated, and notarized with county backing. Ma'am, the deputy repeats, firmer now. You are on private property. If you do not comply, I'll have to detain you. Rick's already backing toward the street. He knows what's coming. Karen, though, she doubles down. This is ridiculous. I'm the head of the HOA Amenities Committee. I have jurisdiction here. This land belongs to the community. He's lying. That paperwork could be forged. I hold up my phone again. Say that a little louder, please. The deputy lifts his radio. That's when Karen panics. This is racist, she yells, pointing at me like I'm the villain in some suburban thriller. He's harassing me. He had people threatening me at the last HOA meeting. This is targeted. He's just trying to take over the neighborhood. A few neighbors drift closer. Some I haven't spoken to in months. Some who gave me side eyes when I moved in. They're all watching now. So is Marcus, standing tall behind me, arms crossed like a lawyer prepping for trial. Tasha pulls out her phone, too. "Karen," she says, calm but loud, "I recorded everything. From a moment you walked into his yard without asking to when you screamed, 'You people.' Want me to upload it now?" Karen freezes. "You!" She gasps, face burning. "You can't." Rick steps in finally. "Karen, maybe we should." "No," she snaps. "I built this HOA. I hosted every 4th of July picnic. I made the landscaping decisions. Without me, this whole street would have been worthless." The deputy looks over. "Ma'am, are you admitting to using this property without the owner's permission?" Karen doesn't answer. She just stares at me like I'm the one ruining her life. I keep my voice steady. "You broke into my gate, held unauthorized events, filed false complaints, called 911 on me multiple times, and now you're trespassing." Karen flinches. The reality's catching up. She turns to Rick. "Say something. Back me up." But Rick shakes his head. "Karen, the board got a cease and desist letter this morning from his attorney. The land surveys, it's all real. We're liable now. You acted without approval." She stares at him like he stabbed her. My phone buzzes. A new text. "County Commission. Public maps updated to reflect private shoreline ownership. Property removed from HOA easements." I raise it so she can see. "Check the county records." I say, quietly, "The pool, dock, and shoreline were never yours to control. And now, it's official. You just tried to police me off land that was never yours to begin with." Karen's chest rises and falls fast, like she's suffocating in real time. Tasha's camera is still rolling. The deputy steps forward, handcuffs glinting at his belt. "You're being placed under a civil trespass notice. Any return to this property will result in immediate arrest." Karen jerks back, stumbling over her words. "You can't. I made this neighborhood. I built it." "No," I say, stepping past her. "You trespassed on it." Her voice breaks, a thin whisper swallowed by silence. And for the first time since I moved in, the neighborhood sees her for exactly who she is. The video goes viral in 3 days. Karen's shrieking voice, her finger jabbing at my chest. The words, "You people always think you can just show up and take over." Millions of views, thousands of comments, and one well-timed remix that turns her meltdown into a club banger. But the real fallout isn't online. It's in the courtroom. The county issues a formal violation against the HOA for misusing easements and public resources. The court orders restitution to be paid for unauthorized use of private property and emotional distress caused by repeated 911 calls under false pretenses. Karen is removed from her HOA position, not suspended, banned, legally barred from participating in any community governance. Her real estate license? Suspended. Her consulting business? Review bombed into oblivion. She files a defamation suit against me. She loses. Publicly. Brutally. And when she tries to appeal, the court releases the HOA meeting transcripts, the ones Marcus subpoenaed, where Karen openly bragged about containing the demographic shift and preserving the neighborhood's original culture. That's when everything crumbles. Rick resigns in disgrace, citing emotional exhaustion. The HOA is restructured from the ground up, with Tasha elected as president. First order of business? Rewriting bylaws to protect individual property rights and ban racial profiling. Now, the pool is quiet. The dock is clean. The shoreline belongs to me and always did. I've got my morning coffee ritual back. No more side eyes. No more invisible fences. No more concerned citizens watching me like a squatter in my own yard. Sometimes when I walk along the dock, neighbors wave. Actually wave. The same ones who looked through me before now nod, say hello, even ask about fishing spots. Some apologize. Some don't. I don't need them to. I'm not here for their comfort. I'm here because I earned it. because I fought for it, because I never should have had to in the first place. One evening, Marcus joins me on the shoreline. No suits, no legal pads, just silence and moonlight. He kicks at the sand. You handle that with more grace than I would have, he says. Grace wasn't for her. I reply, it was for me. We sit there for a while, letting the calm settle in. It's the kind of peace that feels earned, not handed, not permitted, claimed. Later that week, a little girl from down the road stops at the fence line. She's maybe 10, holding her fishing pole awkwardly. I recognize her, Karen's neighbor. Quiet family, always kept to themselves. Is it okay if I fish? She asks, eyes wide and nervous. I won't litter or nothing. I walk over and unlock the gate. You're welcome here, I tell her, long as you respect it. She smiles, shy and bright. It's the smallest thing, but after everything, it feels like a sunrise.